up against Matt. We always give a chance for a response chance on the other side. Thank you, Observer, for swapping the bottom side as Rock will be our support player for this game.
Thankfully, our LCK observers are pretty active with clicking, so the PTSD does go very early. They are also noted on Reddit a court looking at turret HP in the Mad Team game yesterday. It's Mad Team. I had to mention it. So they're definitely on the ball and sometimes a little bit savage in their observing. Shout out to Jonah Strong, our lead observer. Mad Team have messed with their strategy a lot. Yeah, I'm going to be ace checked by Moyu here, and the ward goes down, trying to get some advanced vision. But all you need to know, guys, is that usually Rock is their substitute top laner. He was subbed in, named as AD carry. Now we can see pretty clearly is the better Yuumi player of the duo. Mad Team trying something crazy, and you do wonder if this finds even early game success, would it be something they're willing to try again when they return to the LMS stage?
And when I last saw this duo, remember that was in 9.11 when Pyke didn't receive his early wave clear nerfs, where, you know, now he really relies on getting the Tiamat to be able to get to this point. He's going to be dominated early on by Loken and Ben, so that's my concern. This one's going to be prolonged a little bit more now. Ben taking a good position in the lane.
And we should talk about what that means, because yes, he has a support next to him. Maybe he can last hit like a Tahm Kench does in one of the Frostmancy lanes, Sona Tahm Kench early, for example. But you know, he goes Doran's, he doesn't go Relic Shield because the Yuumi is going to be, at least speaking of the Yuumi, not going to be providing too much in this area. Should be worth mentioning that before, when you had damage on your E against minions and monsters, which was removed on this patch, and Tiamat, you could hold waves, you could clear them. That's all gone now, so you could get just more CS because you had more CSing options. Now, theoretically, you see that nerf and you say, all right, you're going to be down some amount of creeps, right? Hard to say, depends on how much pressure there is. There's a lot from Lux and Sivir. Then you really do have to get those kills thick and fast. Otherwise, you just don't have the gold to make Pyke work.
Something to make note of is the sustain that both Rock and K do still have here. The reason why, you know, Pyke was a great solo laner, a good point of it, we saw it going up against Jace. A lot of range matchup is that it can sustain a lot of damage. Get into Fog of War, you really retain a lot of that. And then, of course, Aftershock being picked up by K here. So being poked out by Loken and Ben shouldn't be too much of a worry. They still need an answer because they're going to be in a pretty significant CS deficit.
It's just the natural laning phase isn't why you picked it, and it's worse. So it's something we have to track our eyes with. Speaking of tracking our eyes, XX coming in.
Okay, the smite, though, is going to go the direction of Kongye here. Trying to go for the fight, but Ben is going to be the first support that does join up. The rest of the bottom lane, though, trying to join in here. Sleepy Trouble Bubble onto Ben, has to flash away. Now XX in a terrible position, going way too deep. Trying to trade it back, though. Kongye is going to be able to get out of here unscathed.
But a great response by Uniboy. Maybe they're thinking they can get a little bit more.
All right, if they hit the hook. But no, as not even a flashes will be burned on Loken.
Rotates early. Well done from Uniboy. Even gets the Sleepy Trouble Bubble and allows Mad Team to chase them down. It looked great from XX, but now he's down in experience, not being able to pick up the smite on the blue buff, and then I'll have to lose his life on that.
Moyu in the top side, going to get a pretty good trade out there. Bold to take an early invade without smite to try to steal away a buff against a Pyke comp that doesn't really want to lane anyway. They want to be in the war zone and starting the skirmishing really early. So just taking that was pretty quintessential LPL. We're going to watch the replay. Remember, XX doesn't have smite when he comes in for this contest. They're trying to play around lane pressure with Ben. And if this is a normal duo lane that has to stay in lane, things like Tristana, Alistar, yes, you can't rotate. You need to get that CS. But they're already going Pyke after the hard nerf. They're not thinking about farming creeps. They're looking for any champions they can get the kills on.
That's one of the risks. I mean, if you end up forcing these fights, and live too.
Oh boy, Knight getting incredibly low. Uniboy just going to be able to show up. Looks like he had the help of Kongye there in the mid lane. The 2-on-1 is real, and now the 2-0 for Uniboy.
You said it best coming into the game, Valdez. I mean, really, this is a game where if you blink, you go into a replay, you will miss a part of the action.
Even in analytical points could be too long, as we see almost there. Another chunk go down. Remember that TOP were looking like they wanted to approach this series, win lane, win game. We're going to look at how this is. So Knight has the push. He wants to get the full reset. It's always that pesky spot where the lane can be frozen. And the moment they threaded that trouble bubble, the inroads were massive. Knight thinks the flash is going to be enough because, remember, Uniboy had flashed already, but guess what? He gets to pilfer the flash, and the pilfered flash picked up off the floor, enough to pick up the kill. 2 early fights and already can go with Lost Chapter, 2 early kills on Uniboy, so having a great game just based off the first 5 minutes. And it's not in a vacuum either. If we think back to Aurelia versus Zoe when this was a common matchup last year, Ignite Aurelia would solo kill Zoe. It felt like half the time at level 6. You just run in there with Sheen and just blow him up. That's still possible, but now Aurelia can't W away magic damage, so she takes damage back. And any extra base stats or items to the side of the Zoe might actually avert the usual spot where Aurelia has fertile ground to just smash the Zoe into the ethers.
And it's kind of that uncommon mistake you'll see in the mid lane there from Knight. It is a very good read, though, from Uniboy, and also had his sights set on landing that trouble bubble, so props to him as well to pick up that kill.
If you take a look at the right side of mid lane, control wards are heavily in favor of Mad Team, already working towards a roam here by Kongue.
He wants to spot. Oh, it's actually important that he spots here.
All right, now can they turn? The Pyke is going to land that stun, though. They're looking for this, but no level 6 on the Pyke. He's actually level 4. So lands that stun with the flash, and how about some more fighting up in the top lane as the Pop Blossom there is going to just put him back.
We didn't mention this, but it is Glacial Augment from Moyo. He has not gone press the attack, so with press the attack, maybe there's chase potential down a long lane. Not going to see in this case. It is, of course, the Q max if you go in the Glacial Augment.
You made a mention of it, of course, with Kongue coming into the lane, but he wants this fight. Liang, please.
Give him a chance to speak.
Smack him. Okay, all right, we're fine.
He doesn't like Raz's analysis. What can we say? Come on, mate.
I'm just saying, Kongue tried for a play towards the bot side of the map. And the fact that it was cut up by XX just having vision of him really saved Loken and Ben in the bot side, so great call there.
Vision on the bot side is a really good thing to give lip service to. 3 control wards in this area means every trouble bubble is unscouted from the side of top esports. Now, we always talk about this, but one of the advantages of specifically Lux as an enchanter range supporter, she's a range support, so turret plates, win lane, etc. But from behind, she has 2 abilities to check brush, her E and her R, so she can contest vision a lot safer than a lot of these mages in the bot.
Almost got the perfect CS there. I think he might have missed that last one, so props to Loken. You don't always get the camera shot of that one, but will continue with a very nice lead in the CS. Down on the bottom side already, over 20 CS there.
The gold lead that Kongue has should be far larger at this point. He should get, red and Krugs up top side, then he can go right back to the bottom side play. The control wards that they already have towards the river should just remain. And even if he doesn't get that play bot again, I mean, Dragon is still up. Good setup for it. So that's something that Mad could be confident about and being able to make that play.
And if TOP can find a way to get back map vision here and stop Mad from roaming and getting picks, stop the Pyke from post level 6 getting a lot of inroads, they still have very strong team fight on the side of TOP. So it's a kind of a nuanced draft. The moment you try to copy G2 and come up with this Pyke and Yuumi strat, you still need to put it to good use. G2 are the epitome of a team where you can't just copy what they do and find the advantages. You need to understand the play style behind it.
And the fact that it hasn't been ultra, successful here is actually working against them. 2 early kills, sure, but top esports are the one with the gold lead.
Yeah.
Not just off the turret plating, but CS margins are huge here, both in the bot and mid lane. So across all lanes, top esports are finding advantages that now Mad Team needs to cut up.
Really weird to see the late Relic straight Targon's pick up here from the Pyke. You were seeing the moments where no gold sharing was happening. If you are in this phase, you do not pick up gold. Speaking of this phase, warning signs were there for TOP. They back away, and it seems like they were just trying to buy space for Aatrox to clear out a ward.
And you can see XX's presence down here in the bottom side. As you mentioned, okay, this is Lux right now trying to burst down the Yuumi. But, it is the Yuumi, not quite having the firepower behind the Lux just yet.
Coming into this play, though, does mean that Rock has to back away. He has to waste his mana on self-sustain. Again, not ideal. OP get to continue pushing up, and it seems like all Aatrox is doing is stopping an early turret from being destroyed completely by the Silver and Lux.
I don't think Mad has an opening bot side at all. One thing that XX has done consistently is, I mean, if there's side lanes are shoving out consistently, they have good communication to know that, you know, K and Rock hasn't even been able or, you know, have the wards to be able to ward the lane bushes. So he's been looking for counter ganks pretty successively. So good call for Kongyu just to look for a dragon and to get this game going.
You look at the map state, and if you are TFP, you should say, okay, bot lane play is a bit scary, no vision, top side basically free for the Moyu to push, and not even with the on-hit build, so with the team fighting build, and that means that Rift Herald exists as a very clean objective here. Now, the speed at which they took the Mountain Drake does mean they could try to make a play here, and with this TP, seems like we're getting a contest. The Rift Herald's still pretty healthy at 6,000.
It's exactly what they want to do. They're going to rotate on over, but we might just have to fight. The TP coming in now from the side of top esports. We're flashing on the Renekton, and down he will go. Flashes at the last moment as Liang a little bit too far ahead of his entire team.
Wow, that was looking like a great flank from Mad Team, but oh, maybe they can still get Knight.
Ooh, Knight going a little bit too aggressive there onto the Pike, but is going to be forced to flash away.
Everybody flanking each other here. Mad Team were just a little bit too slow to understand that the mid lane is going to take longer to respond than the team of TOP, and thus Renekton's whole health bar is void. Now, Renekton has TP and Dominus available, so they could try to hard force something, but now it seems like top laner is going to do it Australian style, go to the bottom lane.
Yeah, we're going down there for now, just
It's
switching things up.
Down under, if you will.
I wanted to strategically avoid that.
I'm Australian. I strategically go straight into it.
After you just let it up there on the platter. Had no other choice. But yeah, I mean, we're switching sides here after that objective, and both teams just want to have more presence around that Rift Herald. We'll see if anybody can actually take that here before 14 minutes.
I think it's just tough here for Mad Team. Unless if Kongyu can get this going.
Oh boy, Knight in a little bit of trouble, but he's trying to turn it around. Look at that damage! He's just able to put Zoe in the dumpster, and he's looking for more even. One more auto could do it. Doesn't quite have the Q back available, but the 1v2 is real from Knight9.
Yeah, Liang doesn't have flash here, but still, great 2v1 on that one. Just had a wave to work with, so just evading Aatrox from the get-go.
And it's so important for the confidence of this mechanically skilled mid laner, famous for dominating rank 1 on the Korean server, to have a big moment at this tournament. It's his international debut. A bit of a muted one so far, but moments like that, little glimmers, remind you of the potential behind the name Knight9.
Guy really doesn't mess around. He knew he didn't have his flash from the play earlier on around the Rift Herald when he went a little bit too deep, and he's like, well, I can't run. There's no way I'm going to be able to run. So in that moment, it actually gives you more confidence. You say, I have to fight. Let's do it.
He definitely looks for those moments later on in the game when he's able to put himself on side lane. I want to see, you know, if they get desperate, Mad Team that is, that they would have to send more units to be able to take him down, but looks like XX has a chance to be able to go on to K, just trying to clear out this tri-bush.
K is so low, and experience level 7, you know, at this point, a level behind Loken. Don't know the exact experience bars, but it's been pretty common to see him behind an experience in this laning phase in a different role as the carry of the lane, usually just the support. CS leads. When they win game, remember how we talked about that? Start putting the numbers together. It's about 100 CS lead already to TOP across the lanes.
Just nearly 40 CS difference from Knight and Uniboy alone. The concern I had with just waves being shoved into them consistently, it's becoming a reality.
Got a fight down here in the bottom side, one-on-one. The Dominus is popped here from Liang. He's looking for the long game, but that root is going to land and save Moyu's life. Okay, nice angle there. Trying to turn that one around. Double final chapter. Who reads it better? It looks like it is going to be XX, who will lock that Rift Herald down. And now Uniboy with nowhere to hide and nowhere to run. Just goes down, as well as that Rift Herald to the side of top esports.
Yeah, they were committing so hard to being able to get the smite that they weren't in position for a fight there. So great job to XX being able to smite it out.
A couple of skirmishes across the map, though, do go the way of Mad Team. Both picking up the way of TOP on the bot side. We did see the NiKo get away. We're going to see the replay of the mid lane play here, and we talked about how this was such an Aurelia favored matchup in the past. Even with backup, Knight able to problem solve his way through, and the Ignite guaranteed it. Kongyue is only spared being a 2v1 double kill member by the fact the Q cooldown hadn't come up for Aurelia.
Was able to just do an immense amount of damage. That's 2 entire health bars by himself, just weaving in and out of the Aatrox abilities as well. I like how he got that cool Riot Korea style camera angle as
Helicopter camera.
Props to our observers once again.
And Rock has decided that he's going to be a bit more bold than our usual Yuumi play. He's got a lost chapter from the support role, which already is a big surprise for Yuumi. She kind of stacks all of the Forbidden Idol items in rare order. You see a lot of kind of Magi's on this champion. The Dark Seal is already there. But usually you see something Forbidden Idol evolved from this side. So
yes.
Lost Chapter, I guess, going to be something like the GLP or Luton's, and it is a bit more carry-orientated. Speaking of top lane carries, Moyu takes a lot of damage.
Liang, if he can ever get on top of him there, is going to do a good job, but that's just the side lane. We got to pay attention to the main action here in the mid lane with Shelly already going to take out that CR2, one rather, and in the blink of an eye, Liang just able to flash onto him. Call him he did.
I was about to say this game seemed hopeless because being able to take mid lane turret down like this with the composition that they had, vision control is going to be so against Mad Team, but Liang coming in hot, taking down Moyu, already having a great performance.
He's at least going to have a YouTube highlight for this particular game. We'll see how the entire game goes. Speaking of the entire game, though, on the other side of the map, they're finding advantages. Liang still has his teleport up, so they have to respect the 5v4 potential. Nice little moment here for Liang with his fellow top laner on the Rift as well.
Uh-oh.
And, well, we had a highlight, and now we'll have a little bit of a low light as Kongyue just going for a walk in the jungle, and Knight is going to pick up yet another kill.
Second time. I mean, XX is just in the right place at the right time constantly, hovering over Knight at that situation. It'd be fine by Kongyue, but, I mean, just got set up in that trap.
Not a lot of fine things for Mad Team. I want to draw your attention to 4 kill now, Aurelia, with a 40 CS advantage, a Trinity Force, and more in the mid lane. That sounds like a side lane you don't want to go near. Moyu didn't go press the attack, so he's trying to play respectful and just put out the Blooming Burst, but Liang goes for the one combo even without his first item complete, and overkills the NiKo, and then some.
And over here this time, just, you know, takes the blasting plant. Suppose he didn't expect the Aurelia to be there and just gets shut down 2v1.
So now what I need to see, there's still one control ward, there was 2 control wards in the southern quadrant of the jungle by Mad Team. That all needs to be replaced. They have no business having vision in that area. They need to be able to have strong defensive vision, specifically on the top side of the map. I know that Mountain Dragon's going to be coming up soon, but at this state, they need to be able to have secure point on the red buff, and when Baron comes up in 2 minutes.
Strange thing is, though, Raz, you know, I want to agree with you, because that is absolutely how every team in this scenario should play, irrespective of champions, and yet, I don't know if safe vision works if you have no AD carry, if you have really no wave clear, short of melee range wave clear on a Renekton and a Zoe. I actually think that you just lose the game if you do that. I want to see Mad Team take over a quadrant that TOP have to come towards, say Baron after 20 minutes, and you gotta use your comp for what it's made for. They're losing every lane by a lot of CS. They picked a comp to skirmish and get Pyke resets on. If they just pick up defensive vision, what are you defending when, in terms of lane matchups, they're losing matchups innately?
Well, somehow, on that line of thinking, they're going to have to get one of these skirmishes done fast. They don't want to give too much of a gold lead over to the side of top esports, who are just trying to take down objectives and widen that gap here, as now it is about 5,000.
You got something.
XX, okay, he's going to be all alone. TP is coming in. but he's not going to be able to do much by himself. Boyu here has to flash away immediately, but nowhere for him to run. Has his team behind him, but that's already 2 kills to Mad Team. Even Loken gets trapped up in all this business. He has to flash away as well.
That was really disrespectful from XX to begin with. Sure, he was flanked out by multiple members, but thought he could buy for enough time. Had no business even looking for that fight.
It's like they caught a can of fizzy drink, TOP, with all their winning lanes, but they just let it shake and they open it up and they're surprised it burst in their faces. 2 kills because they were just in range. And as you say, being a little bit too bold. And now all the map control resets. And is it going to change the game? Maybe no. But it's so unforced on the side of TOP because, yes, you only get the vision a little bit later, but he goes straight in with only a TP and a slowly walking Sivir to back him up.
Honestly, Kongyu was probably playing around Fox, so he thought it was just going to be that one member that he could look to force a fight on. So the moment Aatrox came in, it was already too late. So again, at least there's that one glimpse that you can look for if top esports go and make another mistake. Baron is enabled. It's tough. Even with that, Matt doesn't really have a good Baron team at all.
Oh, no, not even a little
laughable.
bit. They can tank it a bit. They can turn off it real good. Damaging it, though, oh boy. Quite important to pick it up, but they can't do that. So the reason why it feels like TOP, like if you pause and say, Papa Smithy, what's the percentage chance they win? I'm like 99.9%, which sounds really high, right? The reason why I say that is the only way that you can actually win this game is, Matt, is you put all the control wards on the Baron and TOP run straight at it the moment the vision goes down. Because usually you're like, wait, how long do we have to contest the vision? Turns out you have a really long time because Mad Team don't even want to start tanking the Baron. They can't kill it. It takes too damn long, even with a Mountain Drake. So actually getting TOP to choose the wrong fight needs to be error after error after error. We saw 1. There needs to be 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to give TOP the benefit of the doubt that if they stay as a 5 and roam as their own death squad with a gold lead already, they shouldn't fall into a pit like that.
1 by 1, if you run into a team that is looking to skirmish and pick you off 1 by 1,
I guess you could lose.
You're going to have a good time as the team that has that pick. Not necessarily tough, but as you mentioned, stick together as a 5, deny a second Mountain Drake and more Baron potential, have some of your own. You're probably looking pretty good in this game.
Look what Loken is doing here. I mean, they recognize how long it took for Uniboy to have a mid lane wave cleared. So it's like, all right, let's keep doing this. Should be an easy dragon for us if we continue to play this one out. They don't have any clear whatsoever, so they may be looking for a play here.
Seems like they had a good idea that Kongyo is going to stay in that brush. They get him to dash over the wall. That means that a lot of power for engaging on this one is going to go away, but let's see if they still commit to it here. Mountain Drake goes down, looking for the potential pick, but everything's going back onto the Zoe as Uniboy has to flash away, but now XX goes in by himself. Here comes Leon, the Dominus into the backline, trying to do that AoE, but here's Knight into his own backline, has to, and is going to have the 3 with the help of XX. Might just be able to sweep this entire team as now Uniboy's going to go down, and it's all up to K. Maybe he can get 1, but that is not going to look good for him as he will go down as the final member of Mad Team.
And they just flex on Mad Team there. That's the night with the instant triple kill, working out some frustrations on how maybe the early game and earlier matches have gone for TOP. They run on the Baron, and Raz, take us through one of those night highlight plays.
I just love, just to begin this, take a look at Liang. At least there was a glimpse of hope. He thought he can get XX. Good flash on that one. But you were talking about Knight, getting the first kill, moving on to the second. And at this point, he already was like, all right, Uniboy thinks he can come in here, flashes over the wall to just jump on top of his head.
And K had ult the entire time with flashing health bars, and I don't know what he was looking for his moment to enter the fight. He certainly didn't find the perfect one on the end there. The Baron easily picked up, and yep, we're at silly territory. It's 10,000 gold lead.
Love the fact that you're talking about Knight taking out his frustration in that fight. I felt Rock was hella frustrated alongside K, just because they were trying to at least get 1 kill with the Pike execution.
Yeah,
Couldn't even get that.
They got 700 damage between 2 people, so we'll put that in the...
the only person that has executed anyone with the Pike ultimate is XX, when he stole the kill away from 9-9 in that last fight.
I thought you were going somewhere else that was a bit darker with that one, but I appreciate... The one in my head was...
PG-13.
I like it. I like the PG-13 side. 005 Secret Agent Loken here. I wonder if his brother's in the audience. LCK fans might know that Tana, the Jin sub-top laner, is in fact Loken's brother. So I'm sure he does have the family connection going on here. It's the Korean players from the LPL squad. We'll be visiting family, I'm sure, this week. Seems like TOP are going to be visiting a winner's interview as they're now hugely ahead in look at Knight's items.
Wow.
My goodness gracious.
Help.
I didn't swear at that one as well either. I'm being a good boy today, no French.
Only English on this broadcast for now, but yeah, I mean, it is pretty incredible. We talked about picks and we talked about potential from this side, but well, Brock was brought in to play the Yuumi, but I feel like the brain's a little bit all jumbled up now.
They're trying to find that one pick on a Glacial Augment user. Couldn't even get that.
Yeah. And now they're finding picks, and it's like, well, we can't do anything after that, you know.
You know what they really can't do? They can't wave clear against this Baron even a little bit. They have to full engage, or they just have to leave the inhibitor. No point posturing near it. Mad Team got to make a decision.
Well, Liang hesitating, looking for his entrance, but just deciding in the end that we cannot fight right now. But not sure if they will have an opportunity to fight in the rest of this game. Maybe it was that one moment or not at all.
And this is a good, take note for all teams out there. The triple control wards in the red side jungle, all really just to catch out Liang. Even with the small quadrant he was walking through, there was a nice trinket there as well, so there was no opportunity for him to come through on a flank and not be seen. But speaking about flanks...
Okay.
That's good.
Trouble bubble is good. Might just save them. Get the zoomies here on Liang, but oh boy.
Oh no.
Glacial Augment, that is a rune, and he's going to be dead. And here comes Knight, looking for him, but the flash away from K will be good. Nice knock-up as well from Konga. He's taking the turret the entire time. They just don't care. They're going to pick up another second kill here. Will top esports, as well as this game eventually.
Yeah, they got a top lane wave. It seems like this is going to be it for Mad Team.
I can't disagree with you. They're trying to flex on them here.
Yeah, nice little read there by XX. One and a second one, but here comes that Pop Blossom. They're going to kill the Yuumi, who is caught in transition. And Mad Team, they can't even get one last kill on the backside. Poor guys. They're just all going to go down here. Unimoy, the only one left standing, but Top Esports will be left standing for the win as the Nexus goes down. GG for game number 2.
And an important note here. Yes, we know that for today's Best of 5, the LPL is 2-0 up with 3 match points, but I want to also mention